let's say you own a Jeep, which if you follow my channel, that's pretty obvious. Let's say that you're in Dallas, Texas for a long weekend, 4-day, 5-day, maybe you took a week here, and you want to do some four-wheeling, but you only got really 1 day to do it, and you don't know which park to pick. Well, today's video, we're going to show you just that. We've chosen 2 parks, Barnwell Mountain in Gilmer, Texas, and Crossbar just north of Dallas in Oklahoma. And we're going to go to both parks and we're going to compare them. We're going to use 5 different metrics so that you can make an informed decision on which one's the better park to go to, Barnwell Mountain or Crossbar. Stay tuned.
Use the right 2 lanes to turn slightly right onto the I-30 East ramp. Continue on State Highway 155 north for 11 miles. Continue on State Highway 155 north for 15 miles. In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the right.
So, alright guys, hey, we just arrived at Barnwell Mountain. A little over 2.5 hours with a couple stops. We're gonna go in and check in, and then we're gonna get aired down and start hitting the trails. So follow me. Hello. You're doing good.
Not too bad. How you guys?
Hi. What can we do for you today?
We're just coming
Trying
up.
to check in and run some trails. You didn't get any, right? Did you?
No, I didn't.
All
but
right.
we'll go over it when we.
Yeah.
Alright, so did you want the membership or did you want to do the day pass?
The day pass. Filling out the waiver. $30 for the day pass?
Yes, sir.
And that would cover everybody in the vehicle, correct?
No.
No.
That'll cover the driver.
The driver. And
So
then
each passenger is $5.
each passenger is $5 extra.
Correct.
With a family of 4, it covers $30 for the driver in the vehicle, plus $5 for the other additional 3, so it'd be $45.
So you're here at the office.
Mhm.
It's about 2 miles down. That's where our mountain split. You'll come to what we call the tree of signs. It's a big kiosk with
Yeah.
some T-posts. Yeah. Like you said, the easier trails will be to the left, the more technical and difficult ones are to the right.
Okay.
All of the trails are rated 1 through 5, 1 being the easiest, 5 being the most difficult, identified by little diamonds at the bottom of each trailhead.
Okay. 1 through 5.
If you, on the back of this is the name of our trailheads, what's allowed and not allowed, as well as a short description. If you come up to something that looks a little sketchy, look for a bypass. Before you take the bypass, really look at it. Sometimes it can be worse than what you're looking at. And you know, we have almost 200 miles of trails, close to 2,000 acres. We got 4 people that work here. So if you see anything that needs our attention, please don't hesitate to let us know. Your help helps us keep this place going.
Okay.
It's a dirt bike pavilion.
Okay.
There's loading and unloading ramps for your use if you ever need to use them. And also an air station is located next to that.
That was gonna be my next question.
Yeah, and then coming back to the main pavilion, that next building you see is what we call the Cheyenne. It's restrooms in the front, showers in the back, and if ever need to be, hopefully not, it's rated for an F4 storm.
Okay.
Also, the vault toilets out in the park are also rated for an F4 storm. You know, be mindful of your surroundings. You know, you can turn around if you want to. You don't lose your man card for that. Just remember to keep it level, air down, and it's not a race.
That's right.
Thank
It's a
you.
marathon. Awesome.
That's
And if we take it in, take it out?
That's it.
Gotcha.
Clean up any of the trails. We have a volunteer sheet.
Okay.
You just stop back in and sign it and how many hours you worked, and I will
Okay.
give you a free gate pass for the next time you come in.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Oh,
Well, thank
thank
you very
you.
much. We
You're
really
very
appreciate it.
Oh, I got
No
this.
problem. Y'all enjoy your day.
Yeah.
All right. We'll do.
Thank you.
Alright, so about 2.5 hours to get here. What is your initial impression once you pulled in?
I mean, it has nice facilities. It actually has showers.
Showers and restrooms are actually right behind us in the pavilion. So this is one of the larger parks that I've been to. About 2,000 acres, totaling about 200 miles of trails. We do have a small thunderstorm running in, so right now we're gonna head out about 2 miles and hit the tree post with all the signs. go left. Clyde's Ravine is to the left. I remember she said that. And then Linda Gale.
I thought it would be busier, but maybe it's just the time of the day that we're here.
All right, so this is the Linda Gale Trail. This is the first trail we're gonna hit. As you can see, it is 2 of 5. That's the difficulty rating. Just follows down through here. Once we get down, I'm sure we'll come back up. And then right over there is Clyde's Ravine that we're gonna hit next. Now go past her. You gotta bump it right from the beginning. All right, go. That's pretty cool. That rear tire is stuffed.
Don't lock it. Get the sway bar disconnected? Right there. That's good. Once you start spinning, you're done. And you're touching the rock, but your back tire's off the ground. Back up just a hair. A little bit more. Right there. So we got okay, let's get aired up before we get wet.
Well, now this is terrible. It's raining. The air pump doesn't pump quick, so it's about 3 to 4 minutes a tire, and I'm saturated. I've got one tire pumped up. So I grabbed a beer from the fridge, and this allows me to not give a fuck. I'm gonna wait on him to come with the umbrella. So when he's done, I'll get the umbrella, we'll finish up. But I'm gonna enjoy my beer soaking wet with the AC on, which feels pretty good. We're heading to Crossbar today, all right? Just 2 hours north in Oklahoma, getting a little bit of a late start, but we're gonna compare that park to Barnwell Mountain. I gotta be honest, Barnwell was a pretty awesome park. The only thing that I didn't really like about it was their membership, which really wasn't explained on their website. It was a little expensive, but the trails were fantastic. Really enjoyed the trails. It wasn't very busy. It was pretty well laid out on Onyx Offroad. Their map that you buy in the store was actually better than what Onyx Offroad had, but you have to pay for the map. They're just not handing that stuff out.
In
Gilmer,
2 miles,
Texas.
take the Texas 114 West exit.
Gilmer, Texas, about 6 miles away, and it's got everything that you need that you'd ever want to eat. Hope you enjoy this video. Let's get it.
In a half mile, take exit 55 for 7 toward Davis, Duncan. In a quarter mile, your destination will be on the right.
wash those tires off before you get going.
Your destination is on the right.
And it looks like this is where we gotta register. Alright, so we made it. This is Crossbar Ranch. This is the entrance at the general store, the Jeeps. This is where we check in. We'll see how much the price is when we check in. And honestly, that's kind of the crux is, you know, I know whenever you come forward and you want good trails, you want it to not cost a lot. So this is where we're at. This is Crossbar. We've been told that this is very tight trails. I'm not really opposed to getting my Jeep all scratched up, but if I get too much, we might be calling this an early day. So, all right, let's go in and let's check in. All right. Hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
We're good.
Good.
I got a YouTube channel. Do you mind if I film this?
Go for it.
All right.
All
Cool.
right.
All right. Sign the waiver.
Those waivers stay valid for the rest of the fiscal year, so
Okay.
the whole year 24 if you guys come back.
Okay.
For entry, it's a general admission, so it's by person.
Okay.
16 and above is $20.
Okay.
So you'd be looking at a total of 40 today.
Okay.
We allow night riding. Our gates don't close, so if you go in town, grab a bite to eat, come back, whatever the case may be, you just flash us your wristband. That way whoever's at the office knows that you're checked in with
Okay.
us.
Gotcha.
So that'll get you pretty much to midnight tonight.
Okay.
We don't dictate our trail usage, so you can go multiple directions, you can go around obstacles, use the trails at your discretion.
Okay.
So
Do you have ATV only, dirt
No, sir.
bike only? So
no,
it's all
no, it's you bring your toys, you play
Okay.
with them how you want
Okay,
to.
all right.
So we're 6,000 acres, give or take. So it's a lot.
6,000.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
dang.
So we definitely have the space out there for you guys to get out there, take whatever you want.
get out there,
in
play,
any direction.
and
Yep.
break stuff.
Exactly. Hopefully not break
Right,
as much
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when you're kind of like Jeepers and you're
Yeah.
back and forth.
Absolutely.
$20 per person for the day.
Okay.
So, yep. So 16 is what we consider a driving adult with us.
Okay. Okay. Do you pay? Do you now do it? If I had passengers, do I have to pay per passenger
Yes.
too?
So you can bring it's by the person. Like I said, you can bring as many toys as you want
Okay.
to fulfill.
So it's
however
$20 per person.
Correct.
So if two people were riding in my Jeep, it'd be 40.
Yes, sir. As far as the trail system goes, on the south end of our park, which is roughly about half of it, 3,000 acres, is a lot of prairie views where
Okay.
you can go around obstacles, things of that nature. If you're into mudding, that's also where you want to go because those mud holes are deeper than normally expected.
Okay.
So just a heads up, you guys have winches, you guys should be solid.
Okay.
If you go from main camp to our northwest section, that's where you get Lookout Mountain, Dead Man Slide, Rock Face. Those are where you can sit back and watch people, or you can attempt them yourselves.
Okay.
So little personal things that people have put out there. I'm pretty sure I've seen like a teddy bear with beads hung up in a tree somewhere.
Right.
So main thing is respecting people and then just making it home safe out here.
Of course.
And then
Do you have an annual membership?
yes, those go on sale normally around December, end of the year for your following upcoming year. So this one, your annual pass, they normally go about $400 per person, and that covers your general admission throughout that following year, January 1st through December 31st. If you want to come every day, it's covered for general admission.
Okay.
Special events, you would have to pay the difference for admission fee just because there is an event going on.
Okay.
But that is what the annual pass kind of covers.
Okay.
And then we're open 7 days a week. The only time that we are officially closed is the 3 weeks of rifle deer hunting season.
Of course.
Yep.
A lot of 6,000
Just
acres
in
creates a
case,
lot of
stray goes somewhere.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then the black trails, which are behind the office, those are going to be your very technicals. You have creep crawls, you have deep steps, you have things that you just want to make sure that you're prepared to tackle.
Okay. Do you have a
do not.
difficulty system?
Kind of just broken up into those 3 general aspects.
Okay.
Sometimes it varies. If you take a less traveled path, then it might be a little bit harder than some of the frequently traveled, or
Gotcha.
vice versa. Some of them that are frequently traveled get worn out and kind of rutted out. So,
Okay.
With that, yeah, just the kind of the 3 difficulty levels.
Okay.
And then
Air up station I saw out there.
yes, we have a front air up station that was donated by Tribe 16.
Okay.
So you're able to air up on your way out for Jeeps, or if you just get a flat or something.
Gotcha.
To be able to handle on site.
Okay.
And then we also allow camping, tent camping, boondocks. Tent camping is anywhere in the park.
Now, how far is Davis from here?
Maybe about 8 miles. Roughly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
only 8 miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll be paying separate
Yeah.
than him.
We can absolutely. And it's gonna flip around, face you.
Got a little bit of everything.
We try,
Yeah.
especially kind of when you're out in the sticks a little bit. You
Yeah.
forgot oh no, my water hose, or I don't want to.
Or you blow a hose. and then
Right.
You gotta...
Park.
Okay. And then, do you have maps?
I don't have any
Okay.
paper ones. We recommend a picture.
Okay.
That way you keep your phones on you.
Do you have
Yeah.
is it? I have Onyx Off-Road. Is this?
We are on Onyx.
Okay.
And then these are just a breakdown of our main camp and our well camp RV hookup sites. That way you get a general idea of where you're going.
So you have hookup sites.
Yes,
Yes.
we do
Okay.
have hookup sites. We have probably about roughly 40 hookup sites for RVs spanning 50 amp, 30 amp, and even a standard, I think it's the 120, 112.
Okay.
Especially on these. And then shower house is coming in the near future. It's definitely going to be a major upgrade for us.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I know a lot of people ask too, as far as like swimming, any creeks, ponds that you're willing to go into, use them.
Okay. That you're willing to go to. Enter at your own risk. All right. Well, thank you. What was your name?
Brittany.
Brittany. Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm Jeremy and Chris. Thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. All right, so we're checked in. That was pretty easy. That was pretty cool. One thing that's a little different about here than other places is they don't have a rating system for their trails. So they have it rated by section. The south is very easy. The north is a little bit more difficult. And then sprinkled throughout are the black trails. And again, you can see that on the map. So I'll post that. Real easy check-in, signed digital waiver. A little bit more expensive, I think, than other places. 4 miles from the interstate. She said 8 miles from the nearest town called Davis, small town. And they've got some restaurants. So it took about 2 hours to get here, all interstate driving. It's right off the interstate. So it's pretty easy to get here. It's a lot quicker to get here. Only took us about an hour and 45 minutes. And yeah, so we're gonna get wheeling. We're gonna get aired down. We're gonna start wheeling, and we'll come back at you and we'll talk about the total time. See ya. All right, so we are aired down. We're running 15. I'm gonna do something a little different today. I'm gonna set the new GoPro out front. Probably should take the media mod off, but we'll do that when we get to it. Chris is ready, and so are we. All right, guys, so I'm gonna voice over this montage because I'm not too happy with the footage. I apologize. I really didn't get a whole lot of great footage here. It's a lot of just driving around bouncing around on some trails in this main road. As you can see, the terrain's pretty wide open, so the concern about the trails being closed and tight, that really wasn't the case. At least we didn't find any trails that were really, really tight where it would scratch up your Jeep. So this is one of the main trails, the first trails we went down. I don't know if you can see it here, but we are getting bounced around, at least on the inside of that cab. It feels like you're just getting bounced around. This GoPro is really not showing it because of the excellent stabilization that it has, but that was part of the reason we cut the day short, and we just chose not to explore much more. is because these trails just bounced us around. I think that first trail, which is like maybe 3-4 miles long, took us almost an hour to drive the entire trail, and there wasn't anything technical on it. There's this little rock climb that we did, a little elevation change, but nothing too technical. This is one of the sections that Brittany, the young lady in the general store, talked about, where you can either sit there and watch, or you can partake in the obstacle, which the obstacle is just a really just a steep shale hill, and it wasn't hard to climb. Honestly, I don't think you really had to pick a line. You just had to drive through a puddle, which made your tires wet, and it made them slick on that rock. But once your tires dried off, then you just went right up it. It wasn't any problem. But again, like, you can kind of see how uneven the terrain is and how bouncy it is. I hope you can see that, because we felt it inside the cab of the Jeep. So that's definitely for sure. Here's a nice little shot that my brother got with his GoPro. We're coming up this hill, and then he's about to come up it. And yeah, really nothing too technical. I know she said that they had technical obstacles, but we didn't find any on the trails that we went. We did try to get to Wheeler Peak, but we just couldn't make it. But, you know, now we're on our way down off the hill, and, you know, just super, super bumpy. But, you know, this park really is not that bad. It's good. It's an easy park. It's an easy day trip. Nothing too technical. And like I said, if you do find something like this and you don't want to go up it, you can just sit there and watch. And there's enough shade where you can get in the shade and eat your lunch or your meals. You know, a little bit of water, and I'm sure there's some spots. She did mention some mud holes that you could go through. So I'm not really we didn't do a good job of filming, and we didn't get a whole lot of that stuff to highlight. So this is the best of what we got, and I'm bringing it to you. Hopefully you can kind of tell some of this is it's bumpy. It's just real bumpy. But so yeah, hope you enjoyed. Leave me a comment, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, so we're done at Crossbar. It's rough. It's real rough, but it is heavily rocked, lots of shale. It's slippery, and you slide all over the place, and you bounce all over the place. It's I don't know, not my favorite type of trails to run on. So we stopped. We're gonna grab a bite to eat. We're gonna air up and get out of here.
Thanks, Tribe 16, for installing the air compressor and the air up station.
Donated by them, otherwise there wouldn't be one. I thought the check-in was pretty easy. Do have waivers online, so you can find them online. Their pricing is simple: 20 bucks a vehicle, 20 bucks a head. So a family of 4 coming in one vehicle, you're gonna spend 80 bucks.
Same vehicle with just dad, or you're spending 20.
Definitely closer than Barnwell Mountain. So if you got a day trip, you don't mind rough trails, maybe this is the one. Overall, it wasn't bad. I'm good as soon as you're done eating.
Yeah, all I got to do is eat this pudding, and then we can head over there and put air in it.
Hey, so if you've come this far in the video, then now we're going to discuss our comparison between the two off-road parks. The 5 metrics we're using is: number 1, ease of check-in and amenities; number 2, cost for a family of 4; number 3, the distance that the local town exists outside the park for food and supplies; number 4, the trails, that's what we go to off-road parks for; and number 5, the overall time from start to finish of our day. The first thing we're going to talk about is ease of check-in and amenities. Both parks were very easy to check in. Barnwell Mountain, the staff was very friendly and explained everything to us, made it very much makes sense. And then Crossbar, again, same thing. They have a website. You can fill out the waivers online, so it speeds up your process. But as you can see in the video, it wasn't very long for us to get into the park. And both staffs were very friendly. So ease of check-in, both were very easy. Now, as far as amenities, if you want to go camping, you can do that at either place. Both have 30 and 50 amp hookups, both have primitive camping. As far as the actual amenities, both have a general store with limited supplies, both have an air up station, which Crossbar's worked better than Barnwell Mountain. They have bathrooms, and Crossbar does not have showers. In addition to that, Crossbar does not have flushable toilets. So that leads me to believe that if you need like a running water or whatever, you've either got to bring the water in, or you've got to have a camper that has a water storage and the ability to pump water into a sink or whatever. Barnwell Mountain has modern showers, modern bathrooms, only up towards the front though. They don't have it all throughout the park. So as far as amenities go, Barnwell Mountain wins out on that. Both were very easy to check in. The second metric we're talking about is cost. It was me and my brother and our two Gladiators. So we're doing the cost for a family of 4. Now I talked about Barnwell Mountain has an exclusive like membership program. So they have a yearly membership and they have a day pass. The yearly membership is $60 a year. That $60 gets you access to the park, but you still, every time you come back, you have to pay $15 plus $5 a head. So if you just went for one day, that membership ends up being $30. As far as pricing for a family of 4 for one day, it is $30 for the vehicle and the driver. Then the additional 3 heads are $5 a piece. So 30 plus 15 is $45. $45 gets you into Barnwell Mountain. Crossbar, on the other hand, for a family of 4, it is actually more expensive. $20 a head regardless. So driver, vehicle, 20 bucks. 3 additional passengers, that's 20 bucks a piece. So for a family of 4 with 1 vehicle to get into Crossbar, it actually costs $80. So in that case, a day pass to Crossbar for a family of 4, more expensive than Barnwell Mountain. If you go to Crossbar, it's going to cost you 80 bucks. If you go to Barnwell Mountain, it's going to cost you $45. The third metric is the local town and the distance that it in relationship to the off-road park. Barnwell Mountain sits east of Dallas, about 2.5 hours, in a town called Gilmer. Gilmer, Texas proper is exactly 6-some miles away from the off-road park. Crossbar sits just north of Dallas by 2 hours across the border in Oklahoma, in a town called Davis, Oklahoma. Now, Davis, Oklahoma is about 8 miles away. Directly off the interstate is 2 gas stations that are pretty robust. So if you didn't want to drive into Davis, you have those 2 gas stations that you could go get a gas station hot dog or whatever from. So really, whenever it comes down to the distance outside of the town, Gilmer, the town, wins over Crossbar, but Crossbar being right off the interstate, having those gas stations. Now, metric number 4, the trails. That's what everybody really wants to know about. You've seen some footage. In our most humble opinion, Barnwell Mountain wins hands down. The trails were more enjoyable. They were labeled correctly. They have a difficulty rating system per trail, 1 to 5, 1 being the easiest, 5 being the hardest. Crossbar, on the other hand, clearly the trails were not as friendly. We didn't like them because it was that slick rock, that shale, and it was bumpy. It tossed you all over the place. Just getting to a trail was bumpy, and it tossed you, and it just wasn't challenging, and it wasn't really enjoyable. The trail system itself was really broke down into easy and medium and hard, and that was based on location. I didn't really like how they labeled their trails, and their trails weren't really labeled. They had a map, but it sat in the general store. I'll show a picture of it right here. You couldn't get a paper copy, so you had to take a picture of it, and then they were on Onyx Off-Road. Onyx Off-Road, the difference between Onyx Off-Road and the map was night and day. Like, they weren't updated, so it was a little hard to read. My brother used the picture on his phone. I used Onyx Off-Road. We'd have to talk on the radio and compare. At Barnwell Mountain, they actually had maps. Now, you had to buy them. They were $3 a piece, and they were a paper map. You didn't have to have the trail map if you already bought Onyx Off-Road or Gaia, or I think All Trails. They're on those 3 systems. So you had the ability to use an electronic app to find your way around in Barnwell Mountain. So, but hands down, trails were better at Barnwell Mountain. So as far as the 5th metric, the overall time. Now this metric was decided because we wanted to maximize our day with the shortest time possible and have the most fun, so that we didn't have to waste the next day trying to recover and you know, just taking a day off on our short vacay that we got going on. So that's a little bit misleading whenever I get into my description, which I'll give you now. So Barnwell Mountain total time was 10 hours and 45 minutes. That is a 2.5 hour drive out, a 2.5 hour drive back. That also includes an hour dinner, and then about 3 to 4 hours of trail time. Crossbar total time was 8 hours and 15 minutes. That includes a 2 hour drive out, a 2 hour drive back, 4 hours of trail. By that black and white metric, it looks like Crossbar wins. The reason we cut Crossbar so short was because we just weren't having a good time. I was over getting bounced all around my Jeep. I don't like trails like that. And so we just didn't really enjoy the trail. So all that being said, when you tally up the X's and O's on this, Barnwell Mountain, in our opinion, is the better park to choose if you've got one day to do some off-roading in Dallas and you're here for a vacay or a holiday. Definitely recommend Barnwell Mountain. So if you go to either one of these parks, or you have been to either one of these parks, be sure to leave me a comment down below. Let's talk about it. You know, what did you like? What did you not like? You know, when did you go? Maybe things have changed since you went. Bottom line, both parks were good. Barnwell Mountain, just hands down, in my opinion, is the better park. I don't know that I'll ever go back to Crossbar, but it was fun to do, as off-roading always is. Hey, if you like this kind of content, be sure to hit that like and subscribe. If you've got anything left of your 4th of July weekend, get out, enjoy it, and we'll see you next time on Jack Monkey Jeep.